sweetheart of the long ago. You're still my sweetheart and I love you so. My Dixie sweetheart, girl of the long ago. I bless the day we met.
All those flowers would pollinate and I'd go on and on and on and on. Can't stop the sneezing. Got that bunged up feeling. Springtime's evil. Can't stop the sneezing. I'm gone. Spring hates people. Can't stop the sneezing. I hate how I'm feeling.
I'm thinking of directing a horror movie about YouTubers. It would be about this 500-pound psycho who begs for super chats all day and kills women at night. Or it would be about this 130-pound geek who wears a medium shirt and strangles strippers. Core British guy and this bald Viking ginger who finally meet after years of knowing each other. And they screw up.
Around the clock, we're gonna rock to the rhythm of the street. Down the block, around the clock, we're gonna rock the dreams you give, the streets could talk. Wanna be somebody, be a contender. Gotta reach for the sky. If you want it, fight for it, or kiss it goodbye. It's make it or break it. Try to survive. Don't ever say never. Keep your dream alive. Around the clock, we're gonna rock to the rhythm of the beat. Down the block.
He's Blake. I'm Ronnie. All the good names are taken. Podcast. Blah. Blake, back for another Friday.
Very happy to be here.
What are you bouncing for? You okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
I just walked in the door. I've been on 5 minutes.
Oh, well, we could have went later.
No, it's fine.
You said you said 5:30 was not too early.
It's not. I'm here.
Hey, Mitch is in the chat, and he's talking about getting his frozen burrito on. You remember growing up on the frozen burritos, dude?
Oh, dude. I love those. The question is, though, you a microwave guy, or do you take the time to cook them in the oven so you get that crunch?
Good question. Also, what do you put on it? Because
Well, when I was a kid, it was mustard.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
As I got older and matured, man's immature, I put ranch on them.
Ranch, really?
Yeah, really good.
I was a ketchup hey, Jim Bob, I was a ketchup and mustard guy only. I never did anything else, and we never had any salsa or ketchup on a burrito is awesome, especially if they're burnt. Those things are great. Mitch says you go through all the trouble to power up the Zoltron, and one burrito still has a cold spot. And it's just the way she goes. One time, Moss Man got a full frozen burrito at the Mexican place, Blake.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, he immediately got sick.
Hey, you know who low-key has a really good breakfast burrito, Ronnie? Sonic.
I'm not a breakfast Sonic guy. I've never went there a lot, just like with I'm not a Taco Bell guy, so of course I've never tried their breakfast, but I've heard good things. Sonic's got a good breakfast burrito. Yeah. I know they got a good coney.
It's like this big. You take a bite, then you squirt the hot sauce in there. Really good.
What do you think Nick Push is having? He says breakfast for dinner tonight for me too. When we think breakfast for dinner, we think eggs, bacon, grits, all that. What do you think he means?
He's probably eating sausage and not chewing.
Okay, what is getting some custard once the sun goes down? Blake, what's that? You were right, Blake.
He just spelled mustard wrong, Ronnie. Once the sun goes down. Check out this fancy water I got. Oh, no free plugs. I'm sorry.
Wait, what kind of water is
What's
that?
he say on Grown Ups? Enjoy your boss water.
Look at this. Pure Life.
Classic.
Jim Bob says Red Baron pizza night here, boys. Every frozen pizza is a great frozen pizza. It doesn't matter. It's the cheaper the better.
That's true. I did a video for members only where I was walking around Walmart, and I think I said that on the frozen food aisle, Ronnie, that there is no bad frozen pizza.
No, absolutely not. Not a bad one in the house. Mitch says it's in the microwave, Blake. He's a microwave guy. Sometimes I like to dip them in Sweet Baby Ray's.
That does sound good.
It does. Jim Bob coming in with the no shit moment of the night. Hardee's has the best breakfast, which I don't know. Hardee's does have a good breakfast. As far as the chains go, it has a great breakfast.
Yeah, that monster biscuit, omelet biscuit, steak biscuit, it's all good. And the little hash brown bites or whatever you call them, they're really good.
What's up, Eli? Glad to see you. Let's see. And the last one before we get on this, I did make a giant bacon and maple syrup muffin the other night, Blake.
Dude, I can't even picture that.
A lot of cooking going on. So, Blake, a lot of stuff's happened since the last time we've been on the air. We had a great trivia night. And unfortunately, the trivia league that we wanted to start now looks like it's just going to be a trivia show from here and there and whenever we can get 4 people to agree upon it.
That's
Good,
fine.
though. We did get confirmation that Frank and Darren are going to come on and try a little trivia. So we'll have to get that set up. Me and him talked about that today. But everybody else I had on the list, hey, nobody can get their schedule together, Blake. So you and Boz will be taking on Bud and Nick a lot. And they got me because I should have been a better host. I should have told them to use their 2X. But, you live and learn. You live and learn. And if I'd have been a real good host, I would have known that Nick got the first question mixed up with the names and it wouldn't have been right. So that would have been -1 right there.
I don't know. I think you still give him that one. But, yeah, the show's going to have a few hiccups, Ronnie. It was the first time ever doing it, and it's only going to get better as we go. I had a lot of fun with that trivia show, and I hope that even if it is just me versus Nick every single time, if Nick's game, I'm game too. That to me, that kind of stuff's fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I've already got the second game set up, questions and all that. So, I would like to see it where we could just get multiple channels on here and play each other and keep up with points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I understand everybody has schedules and stuff like that. So Mitch says, I thought the trivia show was fun. I did too. And Nick Push says he's game. He's down. I am down, like the guy from Seinfeld.
Yep.
Blake, we're going back to the well. It's Friday night. And like I've told people and you've told people, and I guess I should have said we've told people, we plan to give y'all Friday night, Friday the 13th content till we get a proper movie. And we're not talking about the show. Fun fact about the show that's coming, Blake, the series. Linda Catalini or whatever, the chick that's going to play Pamela.
Right.
I watched a movie this morning with my wife called Nanas. It's got Vince Vaughn in it. First off, I'd like to talk about Vince Vaughn. At what point did he die inside? Because he did a guest episode on Tires with Shane, whatever his name is. And it looked like, hey, there's the guy that used to be really funny back in the early to mid 2000s, but he looks like he's given up on life. What's wrong? And then he's in this movie Nanas about a guy that starts his mom dies and he starts an Italian restaurant with just old Italian women being the chefs. And throughout the movie, I'm like, this is an alien that has taken over Vince Vaughn's body. That's not my Vince Vaughn, because he just seems like, if you told me he was like on heroin, he had a drug habit and he was trying to pay it off with these movies, sort of like Nick Cage did with the IRS and the movies he made back in the day. Anyway, something's wrong with Vince Vaughn. I would like to pinpoint the exact moment he lost his fire, his energy, and whatever the hell this is happened to him. So in the chat, if you know where it went all downhill for Vince Vaughn, let us know.
Ronnie, out of all the little cliques in Hollywood, you got Adam Sandler's clique. You got I call it the Vince Vaughn clique. It's Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Ben Stiller,
Will Ferrell.
You got the Seth Rogen clique with James Franco and all of them.
Yeah, his clique's in jail.
I was going to say, which clique has fallen off the hardest?
Well, I think some of these cliques moved around. And now, see, my favorite clique is Danny McBride, Walter Goggins, and that whole crew that keeps making these TV series.
Yeah.
I like those guys. And I know Danny McBride started off in Seth Rogen and their crew. Seth Rogen has become a disgusting human being, apparently. And it shows because he was hanging around with a bunch of rapists. And then Vince Vaughn, I didn't realize he was like 9 years older than me. So he's in his 60s. So maybe that's the reason his clique has died off the most. Who knows? To answer your question, I don't know.
Adam Sandler's group is always going to be my favorite. And how they slowly just keep adding people throughout the years. Like they've added Shaq and they've added Stone Cold Steve Austin and Nick Swartzen. So, yeah, that's always going to be mine.
I could watch Grown Ups 2 twice a day, especially to watch Shaq out there directing traffic.
Dude, you sent me that clip of because Shaq and NBA Tonight or whatever it's called, Shaq and Charles Barkley, that show's moving to ESPN or something like that. And you sent me like the top 10 best moments. That clip of Shaq falling down, like getting hung up in the wires, was the best.
I like the one where he's talking and he said it was like Michael Jordan once told me. He goes, Charles Barkley goes, what did he tell you? You want to be in Kazam too? And it just shut everything down. I never realized that show was that great. I wish I'd have watched just that show over the years.
We just don't care about basketball. That's the thing. You have to watch a 45-minute show to get the 5-minute classic back and forth.
Oh, Blake, Reddit questions. I've started like screen capturing them on my phone. I have really got into Reddit the last few weeks. Friday the 13th Reddit, Halloween movies Reddit, just horror Reddits in general, and Saved by the Bell Reddit, by the way. And I started seeing these questions, and I was like, well, we got to start answering, talking about these questions on our shows. It helps us from finding stupid content to make everybody happy. So I came up with some stuff, and I just wanted to play it real quick.
Ronnie?
That's a deleted scene. That's the director's cut.
Straight for the tongue, too.
Yeah.
You got to wonder how the movie plays out differently if they go that direction.
That's a real man. That's the kind of guy that's going to square up on Jason like Rob did. But I looked through all these questions, and I figured we could talk about it. It's a lot better than – we were headed in the direction of which guy has the best legs in the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of rubes and idiots on Reddit. What'd you say?
Mark has the best legs. He has
He has the freshest ones.
Yeah, the freshest legs.
Oh my goodness.
Blake, cut it out.
Hey, brother. Okay. So let's bring it up. Oh, I'm getting confused here because I got two computers going. Fancy. All right. Here was the first one. Here was the actual Reddit that made me want to do this because.
Hey, so, you just played that clip of Shelly and Vera like passionately kissing.
Mm-hmm.
We always have talked like AI. Soon we won't need actors. We're going to be making movies and stuff like that.
Ooh, baby, do you know that's
Are we finna get a bunch of AI dirty movies, Ronnie?
We're going to get AI dirty movies.
Like, that's the first thing it's made, right?
Yeah, well, that's the yes, it's the first thing it's made.
Because now you could do AI dirty movies with, like, people, like, you could have Ernest, screwing somebody.
Pee-wee.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Yes.
They're going to have So I have all kind of false stuff up there. You can't use my stuff. Be a ton of Crispin Glovers out there. Here's the first question from the Friday the 13th fan club, Blake. I've always wondered who this actor is. He's the first brother in the Friday the 13th franchise. And it's the guy to the left there. Blake, his real picture, I think his name's Erwin Keys.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not black. He's Italian. And Blake, you'll remember him from when we watched, well, maybe you wasn't a part of that, when we did the watch along of the Sega CD videos or whatever. He's in there doing that. It might have just been me and Tim. But he's definitely not black. And I love how racist people are that they saw that he had frizzy hair and immediately assumed he was a black guy. I've always just thought he was like gigantism.
Yeah, he does have that gigantism look to him. But that's the first brother of the franchise.
Without looking, who
It
was
does. Nick's right, Ronnie.
what?
I know you're not a huge Breaking Bad guy, but it does look like Hector from the wheelchair. The guy from Ace Ventura, Ronnie, it says Ventura. Yes, Satan?
Hey, I wish I had time to show something, and maybe I'll do it in the morning. But I've got a great question to all the horror fans out there, and it's tied to Friday the 13th and Phantasm. Can you keep everybody busy in the chat for 2 seconds while I do something?
I mean, I'm going to say no.
All right, never mind then.
No, go ahead. Because
Oh.
now you got everybody curious, and they'll be mad at me for...
I've got to
No,
create
let me do it.
something real quick.
I've never seen Phantasm.
Y'all give me just a second.
People
Talk
in the
about
chat, y'all give me the synopsis for Phantasm. Is it anything like Ben Affleck's Phantoms?
You're the dog. What did he say? You're the bomb
in
in Phantom, Joe.
Yeah. Nick Push from Nick Push's Horror Channel says Phantasm is excellent.
Beat it.
I'm just gonna stare at him, Ronnie.
Well, yeah, I mean, you really got to have like fans to be able to do this.
This is why the show needs you. You're a leader.
I'm a leader among men.
I'm like Fred from the Howard Stern Show. I just sit there.
I think I got us. Don't worry. I need like one more minute. I know this is bad. Whatever we do.
Mitch says that guy played a role in Police Squad. I've never seen Police Squad. You wouldn't believe the people attacking me, Ronnie, on the trivia. After the trivia, they just can't believe I hadn't seen all these movies.
What movies hadn't you seen?
Any of them.
Well, we've got a specific few that we watch. Trust me, guys, this is going to be worth it.
Yeah, I've got 60 movies in my life that I've seen 1,000,000 times a piece. Other than that, I hadn't seen nothing new. I say that, Ronnie. Probably going to start a new show for members only with me and the boys. They're making me watch new horror movies.
Yeah.
And in the last 2 weeks, we've watched Get Out and Long Legs with Nicolas Cage.
Blake, we did it. I'm going to pull it up.
And I've really enjoyed them.
Did anybody give you a good explanation about Phantasm?
Nick said it was really, really good.
Well, you know, the guy in it, Angus, whatever,
Angus
is the
T.
tall man. Hey, Adam, what's going on, bud?
Mitch the Ripper says Phantasm, the tall man, killer Jawas, and silver balls that suck out your brains. It's a fun franchise.
Has anybody ever noticed how similar Crazy Ralph and the tall man from Phantasm look? Why couldn't we have Crazy Ralph, which is on the left, be the tall man from Phantasm on the right? Would he have been a better tall man than the actual tall man, Angus, whatever his name is, Blake? This is a question now. Angus Scrim. Thanks, Mitch. I mean, I would love
It's hard for me to say because I've never seen the movie Phantasm, Ronnie.
people that know in the chat. What do y'all think about this? Walt Gorfman, or whatever his name is, as the tall man in the Phantasm series. I would have loved to have seen it, but I'm pretty sure Angus Scrim is all big and stocky, and Crazy Ralph is I don't know. This ball's got a death curse. It's funny because it's true. Anyway, I wanted to make that real quick. Big waste of time, Blake, but
Yep.
it looked pretty good. Here's another thing, Blake. Did you know this? I'm going to skip around. You know, we love Seinfeld, right? Here's a question. Here's a question about Friday the 13th, the final chapter. If you guys have anything you want to talk about in the chat, you better hit us quick because we're out here for the White Sox play. All right. So, dumb question in the final chapter. This is courtesy of the Friday the 13th Reddit. I encourage all of you to go be a member. When the paramedics pull up to pick up the bodies at the barn at the beginning of the film, I always thought it was kind of dumb that the paramedic asked the police officer, "Is this the guy that's been leaving the wet stuff?" Pretty moronic. No, this massive hulking character with a deformed face and wearing a scary hockey mask had nothing to do with the killing. What the S? Funny thing about the actor is he was the barber that gave Jerry the bad haircut in Seinfeld, a.k.a. Enzo. Even more odd, when he gets to the hospital, Axel is the same guy that played Reverend whatever in Seinfeld. Cue the bass, a little reunion around Jason's corpse. Now, Blake, there's a good chance, because I found out a bunch of these guys in this Reddit are morons. There's a good chance that he didn't say, "Is this the guy leaving the wet stuff?" But that's not, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Enzo. That was him with the other gal. I thought I'd get more of a reaction.
Are you asking me a question?
No, I just never knew that was Enzo as the other paramedic.
Yeah.
As far as the question, it was stupid. I mean, you got to have some kind of dialogue. All right, back to our next one, Blake. This one is brought to us by the Friday the 13th Reddit. Would you have made the same mistake as Casey Becker when Ghostface asked her who the killer was in Friday the 13th? So put yourself in her place, Blake. You're sitting there, you're popping popcorn, you're waiting for your special guy to get there, and then you see your special guy's out there, and your special guy got his guts busted. And now you're scared, and you're hiding behind the TV because your boyfriend's dead, and he asked you the question, who was the killer in Friday the 13th? Would you have been up on your hard knowledge to say Pamela, or would you have said Jason?
No, I would have said Jason, and anybody that says otherwise is probably lying, Ronnie, because in 1996, there were 9 Friday the 13th movies, and 7 of them, Jason was the killer. So, yeah, I mean, nobody had that swerve thrown on them before, so I thought that was a brilliant piece of writing.
I did too. But that's what they're talking about over there, Blake.
Yeah, I'd be a dead F.
Here's the next one. Do you think they could have done more with Mrs. Jarvis besides?
Yeah, you and I could get the question off screen. You and I have talked about this. There's a huge missed opportunity for Trish or Tommy to find the body of their mother. And I mean, that would help with the whole trauma that Tommy goes through, that you really believe he's going crazy at the end. They absolutely had a missed opportunity there. And you got to wonder if something was filmed. Didn't we find out something was filmed, Ronnie? Didn't Trish find her in a bathtub or something?
Yeah, because they had a flashback at the end of it where Jason's dead on the floor and they can hear the cops next door, and she goes upstairs and sees her mom dead in the bathtub, and Jason comes behind her, and that's the whiteout that they do in every movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I sort of like the way they did it because they had them as the wholesome family. And you really don't want these kids finding their dead mom. You get into a territory where you're like, I just want to see everybody dead. But Tommy, what's his name? Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis?
Yes. Okay. So Tommy Jarvis finding his mother and them being there being an actual scene where we get to see it would have helped in the later movies whenever he's having his breakdowns, like in part 5 and part 6. Instead of just the Tommy, get the H out of here and stuff like that, he could have visions, of his mother dead and things like that. I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy. I think the death was good the way it was. I'm not just sitting there clamoring to see everybody get splattered up against the wall. I think a few Friday the 13th, even if they make a new one, I think we need to get that little shock kill that you get in almost every Friday the 13th. I don't think you need to see everybody get sawed from the crotch all the way to the neck. That's just my opinion. Leaves a little mystery, Blake.
Say it again.
I said, at least a little mystery, Blake.
I wonder how long it took for them to find that fat hitchhiker, Ronnie.
Good question. You reckon he drug her into the woods or left her right by the road?
I mean, either way, how long before somebody finds her?
Well, if you drive by, anybody's going to stop when they see a lump of crap beside the road.
Are you stopping for a homeless person to sleep?
Oh, it's a good point. It's a good point.
No, you're not.
Oh, may. Never know. Josh the Hard Guy says, the boys are live. Wow. Happy Friday. Adam says she's still there. So in the next movie, if it's a continuation movie, I say you should drive right by and see her. Okay, Blake, a lot of hoopla over the last couple of weeks, mainly started by Vincent Dasani about this new look Jason.
Yeah.
And thanks to the Friday the 13th Reddit, somebody at a con actually created the new mask.
Oh, cool.
Now, tell me what's wrong with this mask. Everybody in the chat, this thing looks great. Now, you got to be a long face to put it on. But, I mean, the people making the movie will make sure the face fits in the mask. Right, Blake?
Yeah. You do got to be a long face for sure.
But there's nothing wrong with this look. Or is there? Is there?
The look is okay. I just wish it was a little bit flatter, if that made sense.
Being flatter is going to do what?
I don't know, make the person head look normal. Like if I put that mask on, Ronnie, you see this hanging out the side.
Yeah, that's the reason I say in the movie, though, they're going to find a skinny face person.
Yeah.
Am I not making any sense?
Nick Bush has got a good note. He says huge square eye holes.
What does that matter?
They are really big eye holes.
I mean, this is not. See, here's the deal. Here's
you know what should be the eye holes? The two on top, very top there.
It should be the eye hole should be the one right above the red thing and the one way down there underneath the nose. The way his face has been in every movie. Here's the problem we've put ourselves in, Blake, and I'm gonna leave this up. It's the same way with the Halloween F heads. You know, they take a throwaway line and it's got to be in every movie. The darkest eyes. We don't care if we see Jason's eyes. I don't give a crap if the eye holes are as big as his fists. You know, it makes zero sense because it's a guy killing somebody. Yeah, I mean, we've based all of these movies around one or two little comments and we're okay, here's what I want. They instead of big giant eye holes, let's do like the people that used to joust. Let's make it little tiny ones, like he's Asian. Yep. Straight across, like he can't be seen.
I like that.
That's what we're going to do. I mean, this mask looks great.
I need that old wrestler, the Sultan.
Exactly. That's what we needed. So, huge square. It looks like a Mighty Ducks mask. Nick says, could a Friday the 13th take place in Mississippi? Jason and the Bayou could be cool.
Right. When's the last time you've been to the Bayou?
Well, the Bayou. Last time I've been to Louisiana, I don't know. Nick doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. Nick, I love you. But the Bayou.
We got a lot of nice lakes and camps. Actually, really close to us. So yeah, Friday the 13th could take place here, and it would probably be cheaper than anywhere else.
Yeah, they could easily film in Tennessee, in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, with all these huge lakes.
Yeah,
they could easily do that, and it would be a lot cheaper. So, but the Bayou's Louisiana, Nick. That's going to be the places with the swamps and stuff like that, where the states actually meet the Gulf. Even though we do meet the Gulf, we meet the Gulf we meet
the Gulf of America.
Yeah, and they meet the Gulf of Mexico, which is a lot nastier.
Yep.
So
dirty water.
Mitch the Ripper says he dragged her into the woods to steal the squish banana.
You think Jason eats bananas?
Yes. What do you think? Let's get back to that here in a minute. What do you think he eats? This mask looks like a horror-themed Easter egg. See, I think you guys are being... We compared it the last time we went live. Okay, Nick's getting serious. He used my name. Use my government name. The issue, Ronnie, is based on proportions of how skinny this mask is. The eye holes are way too big. It's distracting. Okay. Calm down, brother.
Would it be distracting, though, if it was on someone's face?
No, because it's just like part 3 where you can see the skin right around in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh says Nick, Jason, and West Baltimore. He wouldn't make it. Josh, I had a buddy that went to Baltimore about a week ago. He had never seen anything like it. The baseball stadium was amazing, and inside of it, he said he felt safe. But outside of it, he said it was the worst place he's ever been in his life. Tell me if he's just being dramatic. Jim Bob says, I prefer the Gulf of America. I see you, water. Adam says he put her on a spit and roasted Banana Girl a lot of meat. So Jason, and I think we've covered that before, Blake, he's just eating animals and everything else out in the woods. And
fruits and berries.
Yeah, like Akeem with his hair. Let's move on to the next question. See, last thing, I'm going to leave it on this.
I'm going to mute myself so I can cough.
All right. It doesn't look that bad. Let's don't become Halloween fans. We talked about Enzo, Blake. Another question from the Reddit. Does part 2 and 3 have the worst continuity? Let me read this for you. Answer. It does a recap of events.
Yes.
Part 2, Jason crawling away, the newscast, and the quick look at Jason with his part 2 clothes on, but that's about it. While the film does show the events of part 2 happen at the beginning, the look of the film and Jason's appearance and mannerisms make it seem like the murders of part 3 were done by Jason's older brother from the West Coast, Jeffrey Voorhees. Comedy, Blake. It's interesting as the films were directed by the same guy. Now, I will say this, and it leads into a bigger question. Did Jason really look like the jump scare scene in part 2 made him out to look like? Because what we're supposed to think is Jason jumped through the window to grab her and kill her as we got the white out, and then she wakes up on the gurney. But we later find out that was just the scare scene that really didn't happen. She's waking up from God knows what. So what did Jason really look like when her and Paul took that mask off? Is it possible he didn't have long hair? He had a shaved head and with just some strands of hair. And in her psychotic break, her moment where she's out, she has a dream that he looked like that. So in part 3, when he's got no hair, that's really just the way he looked. But she was having some crazy ass dream.
So Muffin's not alive?
Muffin is dead. They found Muffin's body. Now, none of that happened.
Well, then I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, I'm just asking, do you think that's possible, or am I reading way too much in the chat? Is that possible, or is that just way too much stuff?
No, it's not a bad theory. The last time, according to you, if this is true, the last time she sees Jason, he just got a machete to the neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you call this, Ronnie? Trapezius?
Trap.
He got a machete to the trap that went about down to here.
Yes.
He still had the bag on his head. So she could be imagining this is what Jason looked like if I took the bag off his head. I mean, nightmares are wild.
Where does the scare, the flashback, the jump scene, where does it start? Because her and Paul pull the bag off of his head. And if we're to believe what all the experts say, Paul's dead. He died in that shed. Poet didn't know it, Blake.
Yeah.
So did that never even happen? Did she never even pull the mask off the head? Because she's in a trance by this point, thinking whatever, she's out. The mask never got pulled off the head. And in turn, that's just what she thinks he looks like. So there is no continuity issues. And did we just put way more thought into it than the people that made the movie?
Yeah, I mean, in the early 80s, all you had to do was show a couple of titties, a couple of kills, and you made $40 million, Ronnie. We're putting too much thought into it.
Okay, but I'm just saying, let's see. Mitch says, yes, Hillbilly Jason could have been a result of her brain breaking. But then Mitch comes back and says, wait, she did pull the bag off his head, but when she pulls the bag off his head, Paul is standing up. Paul's dead. So is that part of the dream that she had? So
I don't think Paul's dead.
Paul's dead. Sean says Jason Takes Manhattan was screwed out of an Oscar. What's up, Sean? Let's see. The machete had growth hormone on it. And that's what she said. Baghead Jason looks scarier than Hockey Man. I would agree, just because.
Yeah, it's scary.
Okay, Blake, to the next one.
How many more of these we got?
You got to go?
No, I'm having lots of fun.
2 more. One more. Fuck, we'll go now. I don't care.
Hey, come on now. Edit.
We'll go now. What's that for? Here's one, Blake. I'd say damn enchilada. Okay, favorite unintentional laugh of the series. Something that wasn't supposed to make you laugh that made you laugh. I'd say damn enchiladas, but I assume that was intentional. I'm going to go with Jason getting kicked in the balls in part 2 and groaning, followed closely by Jason casually walking outside and unexpectedly getting clobbered by Chris with a log. So here's the deal. I don't know why he thinks Jason gets, or I think it's a him, Jason getting kicked in the crotch is funny because that's a girl trying to get away. But Jason getting hit with that log was hilarious. But I wouldn't look at those scenes as unintentional funny moments, Blake.
See, when I think unintentional funny, I think of 2 scenes. I think of Ali coming back just to get his arm chopped off and looking at his hand going, "Ah!" And then the loser who's walking on his hands in part 3
getting chopped
stops to look up and see who's walked up on him. And to me, that's funny. Because you shouldn't have been walking on your hands. What's the matter with you?
Josh DeHargott says Martin the caretaker from part 6 breaking character and the fourth wall will always crack me up. I like that. I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but Abel laying in the road and them almost running over him. If he hadn't screamed, if Shelley hadn't screamed, hit the brakes or whatever, they would have run right over him like they did in Samurai Cop the other night.
It's a good movie.
What else? That would actually have to be an episode where we have to look at all of them and think.
Yeah, well, and you got to take the question serious about unintentional. You know,
yeah.
I mean, some things are supposed to be funny, and these are not.
Let's see. Let's get to the next one.
Toot the horn.
To F. Yeah, that was a good one. Here's an easy one.
Who the hell drops anchor in the middle of a storm? What sense does that make?
I recently seen a post about Chris and Tina and Tommy and a group of. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. Yeah, they basically pretty much asking, would Tommy and Megan still be a couple, or would the trauma have caused them to have to break up?
Well, it's like our grandma told us, Ronnie. You save that trauma for your mama.
Yes, they would have been together, and if Vincent Dasani could have afforded her, she should have been in the movie. Yep. She should have been in all those movies, but he couldn't. All right, Blake. Let's go to the next one. We're almost out. How many hockey masks did Jason have, Blake?
I believe he just had 1.
Yeah, this is another example of somebody being stupid. They clearly show us how Jason gets the hockey mask in each and every movie. Part 3, he gets it from Shelley. It's the same mask in part 4. In part 5, it's Roy with a new hockey mask who's trying to make everybody think it's Jason.
Why did Shelley have one?
He had that little bitty bag. Why do you have a wetsuit?
Well, what I'm saying is I can understand goofy stuff in there. But like, why's he got a hockey mask? He's not athletic at all. You saw him run to the car.
How did the spear gun fit in the little bag he had?
I don't know. Maybe it folds up. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Probably to cover up his face. Because if he could have covered up his face, we may have seen this scene right here in the movie.
Ooh, baby, do you know that's
That's some really sugar.
Yeah, he went for it.
And he got it.
Anyway.
That's what she said has a good point. He got a new one in Jason Takes Manhattan because luckily Great Value Heath Ledger had one on that boat he had, and it had the axe mark and everything.
Maybe they all came with the axe mark. Going to ask the question, like Ali said. So, and then part 9, it's grown into his head, and part 10, it's grown into his head a little bit, and then he gets it off the dope head in the remake. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, there you go. All right. Mitch says Shelley was a prankster. He brought gear.
Yep.
Adam says, I don't think Jason was going to Dick's to stock up. All right, Blake. Anything else?
That's all I got, brother.
All right. So let me run an idea by everybody. I told Blake this already. I got a little free time. So there's a chance that I may go live at certain points during the day to talk about like these things right here, Friday 13th questions that are on my mind. Go live. It could be for 5 minutes. It could be for 3 or 6 or whatever. Or like today, it could be for like 10. And there we go. So I don't know. It's just something I may do, something I may not do. Also, in the chat, real quick, give me a thumbs up if anybody is interested in maybe hopping on in the morning and watching a TV version of Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh, cool.
I downloaded a TV version of Friday 13th Part 2. And if you guys want to jump up early in the morning and watch it or save it for another night, we can do that. But y'all just let us know in the comments real quick. Nick Bush says, here's some money for the channel. What does that mean, Blake?
I don't know. It does say he's been a member for 3 months. So thank you very much, Nick.
I think he thinks that a member chat is money. And it's like just a perk of being a member.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
All right, Blake. Mitch says, how early is early? I don't know, Mitch. 10-ish, 11-ish, 9-ish?
9,
Central time?
9 is good.
9-ish Central time? Jim Bob says he'll be up at 6 taking the dog out. He's down. God, dog out at 6 o'clock, Blake.
Got him on schedule, Ronnie. I mean, that's how you got to do it. Otherwise, you got piss everywhere.
Sean says we should do an outside viewing of Porky's in downtown. I don't think they'd go for that, but I'm all for at least trying it. It had to be the TV.
An outside viewing of Porky's at your place, Ronnie.
It had to be the TV version.
It's a lot of work. We could just film us watching the movie.
Yeah. Nick
Like
says
Brad
he's
Pitt.
Nick says he's going to be at the beach at 9 Central, but he'll.
Wow.
Dude, if I'm at the beach, I'm not going to be on my phone saying to get in it. Mitch says, County man, I just need a day's notice. All right, we may do that in the morning. Or
I'm probably going to the beach with Nick.
or we may just film some stuff that we got on the way. Who knows? Blake, let me find all my media. Guys, go check out the trivia show that we did last week. Go check out Blake's best music made specifically for movies. He did a good job on that. I'm not sure what else we got. If you're on the member side of it, you can watch our Samurai Cop riff, and we got a few more riffs that are coming as soon as we can get. Tim's had a rough week, so we've had to give Tim the week off. He's thinking about getting tattoos and stuff like that. So mental health care day. So we got to do that. Blake, anything before we go?
No, man. This was fun. I love you.
All right. For the handful that showed up on YouTube and the 25 that showed up on Rumble, we'll see you later.